This week on Movies, baby. Money don't make my world go round, to quote Desiree, but it sure makes the film business go around. We're going to break down another interesting week at the box office. And we're going to look at the hottest indie film distributor of the moment. And I am not talking about Neon. Oh, my God. But first, Carson, show me the money. And by money, I mean the weekend box office returns, baby. Oh, my God, Joe. Look at this. The Warner Brothers 180 continues. This studio cannot miss right now. They couldn't buy a hit the first 3 months of this year, and now they can't miss. Oh, my God. It was just a couple...
It's the New York Knicks of the movies, and I hate the Knicks, but just saying, it is.
They're on a hot streak at the right time. Absolutely. And we were just talking, a couple weeks ago, I think, about Michael DeLuca and Pamela Abdy, the heads of Warner's motion picture division, getting canned. And now they're the hottest studio heads in town. Oh, my God. What are we talking about specifically? So, Final Destination Bloodlines, and the Final Destination franchise hasn't been in theaters for 14 years, but it came roaring back with the biggest opening in franchise history, Joe, and that's by a mile. It made $51 million domestic. The previous record in the franchise was 2009's The Final Destination, the fourth installment, which made $27 million domestic. So this almost like close to doubled the best a Final Destination movie has ever done opening weekend. It added another $51 million internationally for a first weekend total of $102 million on a budget of $50 million. Oh my God, we got a hit on our hands. And this is following, of course, Warner's having hits with a Minecraft movie and Sinners, and now, for the hell of it, Final Destination Bloodlines. I'm sure they were not expecting this, and strong reviews should give this thing a long tail going into Memorial Day weekend, despite some competition. Joe, what do you think about the performance of Final Destination Bloodlines?
I like that horror audiences are still somewhat discerning. They pump out a horror a week, but the good people that are fans of horror can snuff out winners and losers. Yeah. I think this one had great reviews, and everybody was like, LOL, like the new Final Destination is supposed to be good. Haha, I love Final Destination. It was just like that kind of a low stress nostalgia play that just worked gangbusters. 51 million is shocking though. It shouldn't be like undersold how much love this shows for Final Destination 6. What did Quiet Place Day 1 do? Sorry to put you on the spot, but
that's okay. I'll look it up.
It was like something like this, and that is just coming from a franchise that has made hundreds of millions of dollars per entry, and then it sort of settled into 60 million, and everyone was like, "This is a big win! Like this is an IP that can live on forever." This is
52
really
million opening, 52 million opening weekend, but basically the same for Quiet Place Day 1.
And everyone said that, this means that Final Destination is Warner Brothers Quiet Place now. It's got 51. This is going to be a trilogy, and then we're going to get this. They're going to redo the whole thing. Yeah. I mean, they had, the first 5 kind of feel of a piece, and this sort of feels like their new entry in the next part of expanding Final Destination, and can't believe how much it won, and I can't believe it's almost heartening and charming how much Final Destination means to domestic audiences.
Absolutely. And we've talked about the snowball effect of when, one movie hits and then another movie a couple weeks later hits. I mean, I think a lot of people saw the trailer for this movie, which was great. They cut a great trailer for it. A lot of people were seeing this trailer when they went to Sinners, So Sinners, another Warner Brothers movie hitting just a few weeks earlier the horror genre, was getting people, let's go back and see Final Destination in 2 weeks. Oh my God, that looks good. A good, like you were saying, a good Final Destination movie. All the horror, the horror bat signal went out, and all the horror fans got the signal, and they showed up at the theaters this weekend. And we'll see if what this means for, Sony has that I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot coming out in July. So it'll be very interesting to see if the sort of, 90s, early aughts horror nostalgia extends to I Know What You Did Last Summer. The trailer for that, honestly, is not quite as great. Yeah.
Just like a distinction. It's like I Know You Did Last Summer is 90s nostalgia.
Yes.
And Final Destination is 2000s nostalgia. Borderline first era Obama second term Bush is what we're talking about, nostalgia. And it's just different because this millennial nostalgia, this 2000 to 2011 nostalgia, seems to be winning a lot recently at the box office and other places in the entertainment economy as well, basically reviving stuff from my childhood, you know?
Yeah. I agree. I don't think this necessarily bodes well or means anything for I Know What You Did Last Summer. That is a different era of nostalgia, and it also, it just like the trailer's not as good. I was kind of, when I was watching, I was like, oh yeah, what happened in I Know What You Did Last Summer? Whereas with Final Destination, you don't have those questions because all that happens is you get an art museum of kills is what you get in every Final Destination movie. And so, you know, you just, you know what the premise is. You're up for the premise. So I don't necessarily think this means anything for I Know What You Did Last Summer, but we'll see. We'll see. But they are playing the nostalgia angle hard on that movie because I saw, you know, in the trailer we get cameos from Jennifer Love Hewitt. I think maybe one of the other original cast members is in there too. Now, Joe, this week,
let me be clear, Brett. Yeah. I'll be there with bells on. I'll be there with bells on.
Sure. Scary fisherman with a hook. I mean, give me all. I'll take all you can get of that. I just don't see it performing as well as this Final Destination movie. Now, Joe, in addition to having a hit this weekend, we also had a bomb. Oh my God, a just stinky, flat out, big old bomb. The Weeknd, the musician, tried his hand at feature filmmaking with Hurry Up Tomorrow, which, in addition to getting critically lambasted, is just the latest bomb for our old pals over at Lionsgate. They just can't buy a win these days. It opened with...
I think they must have a humiliation kink or something over at Lionsgate. Like, what is this? This isn't like corporate malfeasance. This is like a fetish. What?
They're just grasping, because it's like I understand, like, in the very vaguest sense, everyone knows who The Weeknd is. In the very vague sense, I could see them being like, "Oh, we'll take the meeting," but you don't buy that movie once you hear the pitch. Like this thing had bomb written all over it from a million miles away. And sure, it had Barry Keoghan and it had Jenna Ortega, but it's like, guys, you really think Hurry Up Tomorrow's gonna hit? I mean, what even is it? Brett, it's just like The Weeknd's life story, or so it's like autobiographical.
You know what? I'm gonna blame Lionsgate's inability to market and distribute content for all of this. Yeah. Essentially,
yeah.
It's like what we learned at Minecraft Movie Time is that Warner Brothers has like a really savvy team that can jut in and out of fan bases and connect directly with people. But like The Weeknd did the Super Bowl. He's got a lot of fans. You know, Barry Keoghan, he's famous. You know, these are like Jenna Ortega, she's super. Like, there's ways to market this, but these Lionsgate's movies, Brett, they just come out of nowhere. I go, what the fuck is this? Essentially, like opening weekend, and then I don't see it. Like, They refuse to market these movies. We pay attention to movies 24/7. I never know about these movies until I see the bad review the day it comes out.
Yeah. I saw a couple trailers for this in theaters, but that didn't do any favors for it, to be honest. And like Joe, like you're saying, there was no sense of like viral marketing. There was none of that. I know that it also could be bad timing. I know that like Barry Keoghan is like, I don't know if you know this, but he's like, he is like persona non grata in like Gen Z social media verse right now because he supposedly broke Sabrina Carpenter's heart or cheated on her or something. So it could also just be bad timing, bad vibes around it. It feels like The Weeknd has been on this like, he's like simultaneously one of the biggest artists in the world and also on this like sort of slow gradual like decline. Like, it seems like everything he does has some sort of like, particularly in like movies and TV, has some sort of like flop or bomb sort of stink around it.
It's like disasters.
Yes, yeah, like everything is sort of a problem. It's always a problem, and Hurry Up Tomorrow is no exception. This thing will be out of theaters in a couple weeks and we'll probably never hear about it again. What if it became like a cult favorite and then like they put me in the documentary later on about how critics didn't believe in Hurry Up Tomorrow?
Good, we can get some press.
There we go. Now, in success story news, Sinners crossed 300 million worldwide this past weekend. A Minecraft movie, it's getting so close to $1 billion, Joe. It's at 922 million. It just keeps inching.
We're there. We're getting there. We're going.
And then next week, Joe, we got to talk about this. People are saying this could end up, it's going to be tough, but people are saying this could end up being the biggest biggest Memorial Day weekend ever because we have a new Mission Impossible movie, maybe the last one with Tom Cruise, Final Reckoning, and then we have the Lilo and Stitch live action movie, which I will be there with frickin' bells on, baby, with my whole family. Mission Impossible projecting it for 80 million opening weekend domestic. Lilo and Stitch 120 million. So that's 200 just between those two if they meet expectations. I think Lilo and Stitch goes over. I think Lilo and Stitch could hit big. The biggest Memorial Day weekend ever is 2013 when Hangover 3 and Fast and Furious 6 opened at the same time. That was a 314 million total domestic opening weekend.
That's too much. That's impossible.
But Joe, I think, because you don't just have this is the snowball effect. You don't just have Mission Impossible and Lilo and Stitch. You have Final Destination Bloodlines Week 2. You have Sinners still in theaters. You have a Minecraft movie still in theaters. I think people... And Friendship. Does that get its wide release? That probably gets its wide release.
Yes.
Okay. So I think in the aggregate, it's a long way to go for 314, but I think it could get over 314. I'm going to say it will. I'm going to say this weekend, you heard it here first. You didn't. I read this in Variety today. This weekend, but they were sort of guessing. I am saying definitively this weekend upcoming is going to be the biggest Memorial Day weekend ever at the box office. Tom Cruise, Stitch, Sinners, Final Destination, Minecraft, Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd. I mean, Joe, listen to that. That's fucking crazy. Everyone's going to be going to the movies this weekend.
It's all right. I'm in. Double down. The double down.
Double down. It's a double down. A classic double down. This weekend, biggest Memorial Day weekend ever. Mark it, and be there. Help make this a reality. Go to the movies this weekend.
There's a lot of good movies.
There's a lot. I'm going to see 3 movies this weekend. I'm going to see 3. See Mission Impossible, Lilo and Stitch, and then probably Caught by the Tides, that Chinese movie that everyone's saying is the best movie of the year.
Yes, that sounds amazing. Stitch, see, it's exactly the Final Destination's Bloodlines audience. It's 30 to 40-year-olds with children that were like becoming politically aware around second term Bush, first term
Obama.
That detail. That is a valuable. That is a kind of nostalgia that's working right now.
Yes. Yeah. I think. Man, 120 seems soft for Stitch. I think it goes well over 120. Like
Lilo and Stitch will make $1 billion.
Yeah, Lilo and Stitch is massive. I think it's the second most watched movie on Disney Plus behind Moana over the last decade. It is massive.
It's because it's yes. Brett, ding ding ding.
You'll be there? I mean, you have to see it for the show, but
I really don't want to, and I really don't care to. My son's a little too young for it, but I will if you need me to.
You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm taking the whole family, baby. Sandy will wear his Stitch costume. We're going all out for Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, hell, no, obviously you got it. This is like Fish is coming for New Year's Eve at Madison Square Garden, and you got all tickets to all 3 nights.
And I'm a late adopter too. I saw Lilo and Stitch for the first time like last year when I watched it with my kid. But baby, I've made up for lost time. I've seen that movie probably 20 times. I got a bone to pick with fucking Lilo and Stitch movie though. Where's my guy Kevin McDonald in that shit? Thank you. Where is Kevin McDonald? Where's my guy Kevin McDonald? Where's Kevin McDonald? You keep him for all the TV spinoffs that make no money, and you don't bring him back for the big live action. My dude deserves his payday. Kevin McDonald, the voice of one of the aliens in the original Lilo and Stitch from Kids in the Hall. It's unfair. Anyway, it's unfair.